This is the first and last harmonized project in Clementi Avenue 1. Let's talk about the ELTA.
So let's take a look at our developers for ELTA. We have MCL Land, a Hong Kong land company, which previously did Tembusu Grand and Nava Grove. It's a joint venture with another company called CSC Land Group, which recently completed Verdale, and another sizable project that they did is Twinview. So let's take a look at the overall unit mix and also the number of units that we have in ELTA. So in ELTA, in the project information, we have 2 towers of 501 units in total, with a 3-story multi-story car park and a 1-story basement. 401 car park lots with 6 accessible lots. So we are expecting a vacant possession of first quarter 2029. Let's take a look next into our unit mix. So overall in our unit mix, we actually have units start from 1+ study all the way to 5 bedroom. So one important thing is that we take a look at the number of units that we have in terms of the 1+ study and the 2-bedder, and even the 2 premium and the 2 premium plus study. It's making up about 40% of the units over here. So it means that the developer actually looks at the overall area in this particular Clementi Avenue 1 as one of the area that has a lot of family upgraders. That's why they focus a lot of their units into the larger unit types over in this project. Over on our side, we are actually very nicely placed and quite accessible to the AYE, and we are also very accessible to the main road. We are so walkable distance to the MRT station of Clementi. Whenever we look at project, I guess you all agree with me that if we are looking in an area to stay, we want to stay from maybe young all the way to old. This area is considered the Edu district of Singapore, where we actually do have a lot of schools, starting from primary school, secondary school, tertiary institutions, and also universities. Being the last plot of land down here, you have a lot of benefits in terms of the overall flow in this area. Because in 10 years' time, if someone wants to look for a newest project in this Clementi Avenue 1, especially the families that want to move into this area, you will be the only one in this area. So we do have quite a number of different views because we have up to 39 stories. So there's quite a number of different facings that you can look at in this project. So as we take a look at this view, for example, we have actually 6 different views over here. So one of the key view that we have is this drone view, which is facing quite a big landed view right in front of us. And as you can see, you can even have sea views right in front of you. We have 30 stories, which is slightly lower. And subsequently, we have level 20 as well. We have quite nice, vast views right in front of us. So for the Clementi Avenue 1, we also have quite a nice block if we are actually looking at the roof level. And subsequently, 30 stories and 20 stories. And subsequently, this is the overall view from Clementi Avenue 1 looking at our project, the ELTA. If you want to have a deeper understanding of these views, you can contact me over here, where I'll share more of you onto this file for you to have a very nice analysis of the views in our project. If you are planning to look at this, it's actually one of the GFA harmonization project, the last project in Clementi Avenue 1. So you actually do get a lot more livable space in the unit compared to the other surrounding projects in this location. So if you want to be updated on the layouts whenever it's being released, do help me like, share and subscribe, and of course hit the notifications bell, because I'll actually drop the layouts whenever I do get them and it's ready for sharing to the public. Let's take a look at Clementi in terms of the HDB estate, and we can take a look at our potential buyers in this area. So as we take a look, let me filter again to actually look at minimum 2000, year 2000, to compare our potential buyers over here. In this area in Clementi, we see prices hitting about 1.3 million for the HDB flats in this area. So one thing about ELTA is that you do have a potential upgrader pool from the HDB staying right next to us or even in the whole of Clementi. So another potential group of buyers that we can consider is the other 2 launches that actually happened, namely 8 years ago, Clement Canopy and Clavon residences. So these actually recently have quite a number of transactions that we actually can consider and understand more from. So let's deep dive into these 2 projects. So for Clement Canopy, we actually do have a average of 313,000, and the highest is actually 906,000. So for the 906,000 unit, right, the owner bought it in 2017 for 1.694 for 4-bedder. Then they sold it at 2.6 million. So this is actually having an annualized growth of 6%. So the layouts in Clement Canopy, right, what we do have is actually a 2-bedder all the way to 4-bedder. So it means that in Clement Canopy, some of the owners that stay in a 4-bedder may likely upgrade to a 5-bedder in our project at ELTA because they may want to get a larger space for their family. So let's move along to take a look at another example, which is another project, Clavon Residences. So in Clavon, we actually have the units from 1 plus study all the way to 5 bedroom, which is actually 1690 square feet. If we compare the sizing in terms of the layouts for ELTA, we have 1776 square feet for a unit of 5-bedder. So some of the families maybe in Clavon may choose to upgrade to something more larger. They may actually consider our project in ELTA. So let's look at the profitability of the owners staying in Clavon. So of course, the highest profit, it's very similar to our Clement Canopy. So actually the owners made 906,000 from a unit being purchased at Clavon. So let's take a look at how long they took to make this amount. So they took 3 years and 3 months to make 906,000. So the owner bought a 4-bedroom also at level 5. Then they bought it at 2.044 million. And they recently sold it at 2.95 million. So this owner actually made a very quick profit from looking at such a unit and of course upgrading and actually selling their unit to potentially maybe a family. For the owners in Clavon, they can actually exit their position and move on to buy ELTA, or even maybe potentially they're having 2 names in Clavon. Maybe they'll let go of one of the unit and subsequently buy one in ELTA and maybe buy one in the surrounding Clement Canopy or Clavon just to stay. So this is actually some of the potential upcoming changes that we are looking at in this location. So another thing just to share is that we do have one of the key insight on this location. There's a lot of human capital over here because the BTOs nearby, a lot of them are reaching the 5 years MOP. They also potentially want to upgrade into this district. Like what I mentioned earlier in this video, this is actually in the Edu district where you do have a lot of schools from primary school all the way to university. So for a family, the longevity in this location actually sits. So that's why a lot of families want to continue to upgrade and continue to move in this location. So that's why in terms of ELTA, it's more of a proven area that a lot of families will consider. Because previously when Clavon and even Clement Canopy was launched, Clementi Avenue 1 is honestly very quiet. But right now there's a lot more amenities and upcoming and growing to a much more matured township. So this Clementi Avenue 1 to me is also a little bit like a new injection of young capital in an area. Do subscribe to my channel because I'm going to release a video to talk about human capital and plan our investments in this angle. So this is what I feel will happen if we look at a Clementi Peaks BTO when they MOP in 2027 and 2028. So let's take a look at currently this BTO, right? They are living by our Clementi Avenue 1 as well. So it's right beside Clavon. In the future, definitely they are very already used to the location and definitely they want to upgrade. ELTA will be one of their options. So for the BTO pricing, right, there is around 571,000 to 694,000 in terms of their initial entry price when they bought the BTO back then. So just imagine in the future, we take reference to currently what's happening in the recent news in Clementi. One of the 5-room flats have already hit 1.3 million in one of the clusters. So just imagine in the future, those people that are buying this BTO, they will be having a fresher lease and of course looking to exit subsequently. So with that, right, they have quite a strong capital appreciation. So we take the top tier of the pricing, 694,000. And when they sell it at 1.3 million, they are sitting on quite a healthy profit of about 600,000 to actually upgrade to the next property. And not forgetting is that along the time when they stay in this BTO, they are paying off their loan monthly. If we are looking at an investment point of view, in the future, you are actually able to exit to people that are staying in Clementi Peaks because it's just a short walk away from our project. Because in totality, in North Arc and Clementi Peaks, we actually do have 521 5-room owners over there. And subsequently, we also have 4-room owners at 766. So all these are your potential point of exits in the future. So one of the key benefits of this project is actually at the early stages of the launch cycle. So if you haven't actually sold your unit and needed assistance to sell, you can actually approach me. And of course, try not to be like me, buy a unit, then sell our units. So what's important is that if you want to have better assistance into exiting your resale position, do contact me and I'll be there to assist you. Thank you, everyone.